On the day of getting the marriage certificate, the groom ran away. Under the circumstances, I picked an ancestor to stand in. Why don't you roll over here and sign? I glanced sideways at Adrian, our natural enemy. For the first 23 years of my life, I didn't treat Adrian as a human. After marriage, Adrian didn't treat me as a human, tormenting me relentlessly. Please take a break for a couple of days. I couldn't bear the worry. Sylvia, are you saving your energy to see that damned white moonlight of yours? I won't allow it. Adrian was like a mad dog, crying in my ear. No one understands Adrian better than I do. For example, right now. I know he must be here to watch my joke. Our young lady has finally been dumped one day, congratulations, heaven has eyes. As I expected. Adrian's flashy bright yellow Ferrari roared to a stop in front of me. The window rolled down, revealing Adrian's ostentatious face. Especially those peach blossom eyes, born to harm people. I couldn't be bothered to respond, glanced at him. Why don't you roll in and get the certificate? A surge of evil fire rushed to my head, burning my reason with crackling sounds. It's getting cold, the Jiang family should go bankrupt. Early in the morning, I stood punctually at the entrance of the Civil Affairs Bureau, waiting for the tardy Leon, my fiancé. Today was the day we were getting our certificate. Buzz, buzz. Leon's phone vibrated on the table for the third time, like a dying bee, annoyingly noisy. Aren't you going to answer? I held my breath. The clean white shirt, which should have been my favorite look, now only made my stomach tighten in waves. I suppressed the nausea, forcing a smile as I looked at him. But Leon hesitated to put down the pen. Wait a moment. He picked up the phone, the cold light from the screen instantly illuminating his suddenly tense jawline. He quickly glanced at me, the tension and panic in his eyes unmistakable. Lydia, what's wrong? He turned sideways, his voice extremely low, but unable to hide the urgent concern. The hall was very noisy, but it didn't prevent me from hearing. Don't cry, don't be afraid, I'll come right away. After hanging up, he didn't even have the courage to turn and look at me. Sylvia, I have a friend, she had a depression episode and went to the hospital. The situation isn't good, I'll explain to you later. What depression? Why does it have to flare up today? I snorted. Leon, once you step out that door, this engagement is null and void for me. I was unceremonious, not even feeling a shred of reluctance, damn thing, eating from the bowl while eyeing the pot. This marriage was begged for by Leon. But unfortunately, he had planted a bomb there long ago. Sylvia, don't make a fuss, we're having the wedding in a month, wait for me, I'll be back soon. Leon's footsteps paused as he ran out into the light, instead smiling somewhat relaxed. As if my unreasonable tantrum pleased him. Leon ran away. I sat there, feeling only the discomfort of having swallowed a fly. The staff was extra cautious. Miss Sylvia, what about this? It's fine, handle others first, I'll come back later. She seemed quite pitying, looking at me like an abandoned woman. I gave her a reassuring look, which made her even more sympathetic. I really would come back later. The one I could drag to act as a donkey was outside. As for the one who ran away, the one I was getting the certificate with wasn't him to begin with. Adrian leaning on the car was really eye-catching. The sun was up, just hitting peak hour. Those who knew quality stopped to look at him twice. I really felt embarrassed. Adrian, I'll give you 3 seconds. If I hadn't gone through 800 rounds in my mind, he was the only one I could marry. I wouldn't bother touching this jinx. Sylvia, when asking for help, have the attitude of asking. Adrian didn't move, smiling even brighter. I didn't indulge him, raised my hand pretending to dial a number. Hello, I have a, Sylvia, you haven't crossed the river yet and you're already dismantling the bridge? With the vigor of a 3-step hurdle, he slapped my phone away, pressed it on to look, and rolled his eyes. Fun? I giggled, snatching back the phone. Fun. Time was tight. I grabbed him and entered the hall. Coincidentally, it was the same clerk's number as before. The girl in her 20s obviously had no experience dealing with fresh gossip. Miss Sylvia? It's me, I've queued up to your number again, now we can proceed. I handed over all the documents. Photos and such were already prepared, the process went quickly. 2 fresh red booklets were issued. Congratulations to the newlyweds. The clerk's hand trembled a bit. Thank you, here's some wedding candy, take it and share. Adrian went along smoothly, but it was my turn for my pupils to quake. Where did you get the wedding candy? Who is as careless as you? I did my homework in advance, making it look more authentic. I looked left and right, could there be a spy sent by Grandpa? Makes sense, you're thoughtful. I agree to the banquet matter. You really know how to return tit for tat, Sylvia. Adrian lowered his eyelashes, obscure and unclear, I couldn't see. Of course, I never owe favors. I helped distribute the wedding candy, even randomly giving some to passers-by, attempting to bribe Grandpa's informants. Alright, let's go, Grandpa is waiting in the hospital. Adrian casually encircled me in his arms. TSK, what are you doing touching me? I slapped him away. If we don't practice now, you'll behave if we slip up in front of Grandpa later. Oh right, that makes sense. That stinking kid Leon, daring to treat you like this. I glossed over and mentioned some of Leon's recent small actions. Adrian's acting bug kicked in. Grandpa, if you want to blame someone, blame me, don't blame Sylvia. I've liked her since childhood, actually I'm quite grateful to Leon, if he couldn't see Sylvia's beauty, it might not have been my turn. I'm very thankful that Sylvia is willing to give me this chance, please give me this chance too, Grandpa. Good grief, that speech left Grandpa in tears. This acting is good, don't be a CEO, I'll fund you to start filming. Thanks, I prefer being behind the scenes. Perhaps seeing us whispering intimately, Grandpa wiped a bitter tear. It's me, I forced it, making my Sylvia suffer. Fine, you young people's matters, solve them yourselves, I'm old and can't manage anymore. I held back laughter inside, squeezing out some grievance on my face. Grandpa, it's not hard, just that Leon doesn't like me, I don't blame him, now I'm very happy too. Grandpa's lucid time wasn't long, he soon fell asleep again. What do you mean also very happy, can you be happy with him? Closing the door, Adrian inexplicably said. No wonder your relationship with Grandpa Henry is bad, if you don't know how to coax elders, just wait to be scolded. That won't happen, the old man knows I married you and is throwing a 3-day banquet. Our daily interactions were always like this, just today to avoid mistakes in front of Grandpa, we got closer, and I didn't taste any other flavors. Hey, when will you give me a title? Not realizing the cost of being too intimate, now I was being threatened by him grabbing my collar. Hey, we agreed on a fake marriage, going back on your word? I slapped his hand away. Adrian was fair-skinned, the back of his hand visibly red. Going back on your word, Sylvia, how did you promise me initially? Fine, whatever, anyway we can't divorce for a while. I turned and got in the car, anyway I'd skipped half a day of work, skipping a full day wouldn't hurt. Knock knock. I rolled down the window, remember to take wedding photos tomorrow, I'll pick you up in the morning? Indeed, we still need to have a wedding, this time it's the same person. Okay. Thought about where to live? Back to the old house or Yuntingyuan? Don't want either. Full of defiance, I left a trail of exhaust for Adrian. Back at Moon Bay, I carefully reviewed the materials Irene gave me. 3 months ago, I discovered Leon was keeping a flower. That flower was climbing on the Su family. The Jiang family was small and humble, just in the same compound, the gap wasn't visible. Old Master Jiang blocked a bullet for Grandpa on the battlefield, our family remembered this grace. Help started from that generation. By my time, the seeded projects were countless. But Leon's dad was useless. The two families interacted a lot usually, Leon had some small cleverness. Considering face, Leon indulged me on the surface, so this marriage didn't seem bad. Anyway, manage property well before marriage, he couldn't make waves. Unexpectedly, he still harbored improper thoughts. Wanting to ascend to Sue's position and eat the household clean, daydreaming. But that girl is still in Sue's. Then, Irene, fire that girl. How she was placed in, how she'll be fired. There are always people who think their face is big, taking themselves seriously. Confidence is good, but overconfidence only invites disaster. Sylvia, you've gone too far. I only heard the door slam. Mistake, forgot to change the password, let a dog in. What did I do that's too far? I swirled the red wine glass. Oh, could it be kicking your little lover out of the company? You, what nonsense are you talking? His lacking confidence was truly laughable. Lydia, 22 years old, secretary studies at Trade University, planning department employee, skipped internship and directly became regular. Leon, you have such audacity, planting people under my nose. The blue folder slapped on the glass table with a crisp sound. Sylvia, you misunderstood, his attitude suddenly softened, leaning towards me. I dodged in a tantrum. Sylvia, she's a poor student sponsored by the Chaoyang Fund, excellent grades. Doesn't the company pick some from these every year to give opportunities? He leaned even closer. I realized, this guy doesn't think I'm jealous, does he? Leon, remember what I said this morning. I pushed him away. Sylvia, stop fussing, okay? Tomorrow morning we'll get the certificate, after that we'll try the wedding dress. Mom said it's arrived. She specially went to Paris to communicate with the designer, you can't disappoint her. I caught a trace of panic in his eyes. Leon, you know I mean what I say. I could accept a loveless marriage, just mutual benefit. But I couldn't accept someone who could betray me at any time staying by my side. Sylvia, you're drunk. A desperate excuse, I sneered. Don't you know how good my alcohol tolerance is? A few days ago, he tried to take advantage when I was drunk, plotting misdeeds. Sylvia, this was set by Grandpa, regretting is useless. Leon flipped over to press down, I slapped him away. This ladies' Thai boxing wasn't learned in vain. Grandpa already knows about calling off the engagement, if you dare disturb him, consequences at your own risk. Sylvia, you can't treat me like this. Leon's eyes turned cold. How you treat me, I'll treat you the same, dare to provoke me again, once provoked, I'll beat you once. I said with implication. Whether he heard it depends on his ability. Leon seemed deflated, grabbed his coat and left. Sylvia, open the door. Adrian? What are you here for? Didn't we agree you'd pick me up tomorrow morning? Aren't you considering or not? I choked, annoyed and wanted to pull the door. Let me in first. Question mark. I hesitated and looked at him twice. I reasonably suspect you have unknown intentions towards me. From my understanding of this guy, secretly he finds ways to sabotage me. Yes. I widened my eyes, so frank today? Of course, I'm preparing to move in. You'd better sabotage me secretly. You're bored? It's almost an hour from here to the high-tech zone, don't you find commuting tiring? Adrian smiled with narrowed eyes, like a fox, no need to worry, the boss has privileges. Note, you're the boss's son. Thanks, the second-generation rich also has privileges. Couldn't stop him, this kid sneaked in. Go to the guest room yourself. Got it. Adrian's mumbling came from inside. In the days after marriage, I always felt Adrian was off. Though his behavior was as usual, going to work when needed, discussing projects when needed. But I always felt he was a bit clingy. For example, using projects as an excuse to linger at Sue's all afternoon. Even taking wedding photos, touching here and there. Adrian, are you trying to take advantage of me? I whispered to Adrian. Yes, the groom can tighten his arm, you two can get closer. The photographer's voice was loud, belting out from 10 meters away. Heard that? I'm just a puppet. I pouted, always feeling something was wrong. Hurry and finish shooting, pack up and eat, the ending tone hooked in my ear, hot air spraying, think about what to eat tonight. My lips mumbled, Uncle asked me to check on Grandpa. Perfect, I'll accompany you back to steady the old man's heart. I felt uneasy inside, always thinking this meal wasn't simple, otherwise, next time? Adrian suddenly tightened his grip on my waist. Sylvia, crossing the river and dismantling the bridge? Again. No such thing. Fine, then I'll pick you up in the evening? Adrian's brows tinged with smile, then, reluctantly let you pick me up. I scoffed, reluctantly? Eagerly, okay, young miss. He smiled ripplingly, his features softening. Looking like this, he was indeed a handsome man. No wonder some say when Adrian's peach blossom eyes soften, even looking at a dog seems affectionate. Yes, yes, that's the feeling. Groom and bride gaze at each other, yes, so matching. Maybe too sunny, my ears were hot. Sylvia, Jason is waiting in the lounge. Let him wait. Jason, my little aunt's son. The old man had 2 daughters. Big family business, even marriages didn't let outsiders interfere. My mother took over the business, while little aunt pursued her dreams in the entertainment industry. Fell in love on set, married a male star as son-in-law, invested resources, boosted his career, somewhat made him a film emperor. But she herself went from vase to old vase. 8 years ago, my parents died in a plane crash on business in the US. Jason and I were young then, little aunt couldn't handle it, the old man came out of retirement, holding on until I took over a year ago. As for why not give to Jason? Bang, the office door was slammed open. Sylvia, sorry, I'll call security immediately. Irene bowed apologetically. No need, go down, I'll find you if needed. Sylvia, transfer me 5 million. Because someone living in debauchery at casinos doesn't deserve to speak. Last month's dividends and salary weren't little. Planning department head, stock dividends, at least $1 million a month. That salary, you're dismissing a beggar? Jason, to dismiss a beggar I usually call security directly. You dare? See if I dare. I cold-browed and stared, confronting him. Sylvia, this position was originally mine. Jason looked like he wouldn't stop without money. I only felt I heard a joke. Yours? When you acted as president, nearly 30% of the group's project funds were cut off, forced out by the board like a stray dog. That was you, right, young Master Jason? Guess why only I'm called Sylvia. Sylvia, well done. No wonder Leon doesn't like you, a woman like you can't win anyone's favor, doomed to fail sooner or later. Jason smashed the desk banging. Men always see their love as supremely noble. As if liking you is a gift, not liking you means you have to please. Neglecting them is your fault. Getting the wealth they covet is taking their advantage. Then I thank him. His rage was just not getting advantage from me. Jason, today you won't get a penny. Either roll now, or be dismissed from Sue's. Originally wanted to leave some face, settle at the end. Sylvia, don't forget, I have shares. You only have shares, this position if not preserved by Grandpa, you'd have been kicked out long ago. Oh, wrong. I walked around to face him, even the shares aren't yours, they're little aunt's. I mocked. Sylvia. Jason wasn't good to begin with, as expected he made a move. I kicked towards his abdomen. A chronic drinker's reaction couldn't match mine. Irene, call security to carry him down. I pressed the assistant's phone. Watching Jason's back, nostalgia for the past gradually dissipated. Grandpa loved his 2 daughters, naturally loved us too. Even if little Aunt rebelliously went out to venture, Grandpa didn't let go, instead invested many resources. Jason and I were raised together as kids, a bunch of kids in the old house compound, good relationships. Spring firecrackers, summer plum soup. Grandma didn't allow me to overcool, only gave me a small bowl. Jason always secretly shared half with me. Pity, past matters can't be pursued. Sylvia, where are you? Done for. I couldn't help cursing, forgot due to busyness. Adrian, listen to my explanation, I forgot due to busyness. Quibble in front of me. Adrian huffed angrily. I hastily packed files, rushed out the door. Head-on collided with a meat wall. Soft. Oh, it's Adrian. Hiss, Sylvia, you're like a dog, charging recklessly. Adrian clutched his chest. I didn't expect you to come, aren't I hurrying to pick up you, this young master? I also hummed in pain. Who, hurts that much? Come, bro, rub it for you. He started rubbing it open for me. Scram, I slapped his hand away, let's go first. How did you come up? Irene gave me the access card. Adrian suddenly changed face, went to change home password. I opened the car door, didn't hear clearly. Nothing. He turned his head to the window, I was puzzled. The old man didn't like hospitals, transferred home the next day. Miss, the Jiang family is inside chatting with the master. Just parked, uncle's message came. Just discharged and so eagerly came, good calculation. Gave them face, still dare come. Adrian glimpsed it, what, not going in? You want to go in? My mind flashed the Jiang couple's faces. One good cop, one bad cop, brainwashed me a lot as a kid. Sylvia, he narrowed his eyes, you don't want me to go in? I was numbed by his stare, how this kid grew up more creepy. How could it be, I beg you to go in, okay. Opened the door, inside was lively. The old man was surrounded in the upper seat. His face held some reminiscence. If there's affection, frequently mentioning the past is a sharp tool to achieve goals. Especially for the old man who was on the battlefield, had life-saving bonds. I tugged Adrian's sleeve, later speak less, I fear accidentally hurting you. Okay, listen to our young Mrs. command. Adrian stuck to my ear, hot breath hitting it, I couldn't help shrinking. Grandpa, I'm back. Decisive outside, at home also need to act. Sylvia, come, sit beside me. Grace piled on a smiling face and hugged over, wanting to circle me in. I complied with her actions, hugging and greeting, even though we met just a week ago. Grace, haven't seen for days, miss you. Good good, Grace seemed to recover, why call aunt again, aren't you married, you child? She smilingly tapped my nose tip. I stepped back half, looked at Grandpa's darkened face. This isn't appropriate, where's Leon? I held a smile and slipped to Grandpa's side unnoticed. Leon, this kid is playful, I messaged him, probably arriving soon. Grace pulled back the topic, Sylvia should come try the wedding dress, I brought it back from Paris with difficulty. I almost covered my mouth laughing. On surface to see wedding dress for me, actually to watch shows and shop, using my subcard. Really troubled aunt, I also prepared a gift, tomorrow I'll send to the company. Extravagant, Sylvia. Grace surface refused, eyes staring at me glowing. Then see if you can enjoy it. I and Grace exchanged pleasantries, but Richard saw Adrian leaning at the door. Isn't this Adrian, also here to see the old man today? Adrian smoothly greeted, Uncle Grace good. I saw him carrying a bunch from behind again, is this guy Doryman? How can he inexplicably pull out things anytime? This is tonic for Grandpa, Uncle took it. He quickly walked to my side. Grandpa looking at him started elder temper, bringing these again, buy some gifts for our Sylvia to coax her, no need to coax me old man. How can that be, Grandpa, first formal visit, he took out a wooden box from the gift bag, a few days ago visiting Alma Mater, saw this pendant in the school history museum, perhaps Grandpa you'd be interested. Grandpa glanced at him, took it. I tugged Adrian's sleeve, how did you conjure it? Plenty of ways. Adrian always liked speaking close to my ear. Grace figured something off. Our Sylvia still has such good feelings with Adrian, in future our three families interact more. Adrian glanced at her, thanks for aunt's invitation. Good child, this is photo of me and your grandma by Waiming Lake, surprisingly still there. Aroused my curiosity, I leaned to see. Zhongshan suit, plain cheongsam, extremely matching. You two go back first, won't keep you for dinner, tonight our family eats together. Grandpa waved, dismissing guests. Old with authority, long in high position, speech not polite. Old master, what you say, we are the family. Grace couldn't move, fawningly went to pull Grandpa's hand. Aunt, be careful. Adrian smoothly blocked in front of Grandpa. Humph, family, who is family with you? Grace was at a loss from Grandpa's face change. I owe old master, see you, sick and confused. Sylvia and Leon got certificate, how not family? Got certificate? Grandpa scolded, your kid, on wedding day abandoned my good granddaughter, went to find outside improper ones, still want to marry our Sylvia, dream. Grandpa not recovered yet, I stepped up to block Grace. Aunt, sit first. Richard behind with gloomy face, angry but dare not speak. Behind a woman's madness, always a silent man. Sylvia, how possible, Leon said already got certificate with you, even showed me the marriage certificate. Is that so? Adrian behind me like a wall. I turned and gave a warning look, bad premonition, always felt he'd do something shocking. Aunt, he lied to you, we broke up, the marriage certificate is fake. In future our families can still interact, but I can't marry him. Grace pinched my arm not letting go, how possible, you're our family's daughter-in-law, can't run. Realizing what she said, so many years of affection, how can you say let go and let go? Grace, I respect you as aunt because you're elder, go check Leon's actions yourself before saying to me. I rarely cold-faced her, I backhand added force to push her away. Uncle, see guests out. Sylvia, our Jiang family treated you well, how can you treat our family like this? Treated me well? Richard's dignity didn't allow trampling. Originally didn't want to tear the fig leaf immediately, now seems no need to hide. Then today I must stomp his face rotten. Leon's education fees from small to big were with me, you didn't pay a cent. What I have Leon has. I go abroad, Leon also goes abroad. Jiang's now, not all but at least 50% projects belong to Sue's seated, or obtained under Sue's name. How much profit taken these years, how many kickbacks eaten, I have plenty evidence. What right you say treated me well? First time pointing these out in front of Grandpa, openly saying, I want him to see Jiang people already rotten through. Grandpa rarely silent. Previously required us to treat Jiang couple like parents, now finally shut up. Uncle, get a blood pressure pill. I feared the old man couldn't take it. Adrian consciously served Grandpa to eat it. I continued throwing bombs. Jason was also instigated by you. Repeated questions, Jiang couple choked speechless. Slander, pure slander. Richard, unknown if angry or ashamed, face flushed red. Old master, your family looks down on us so, disregarding my father's loyalty to you. Started old tales again. Old man's eyes flashed touched. Still think Sue family gave not enough? I blocked in front of Grandpa. We remember the grace, but not your backing to do as you please. If you still greedy like this, I'll withdraw all Sue's investments. Uncle, see guests out. Sylvia, you audacious, will get retribution. Sue family having you is shaming. Grace even outside, still chattering. Sylvia, great. People already far, Adrian hugged me from behind. Cedar scent enveloped me, giving me some peace. Sylvia, wanted to do this long ago. Grandpa deep voice, but I heard heavy fatigue. I trembled, but still firmly turned Grandpa, Jiang family is just leeching off you. His aged face flickered guilt they not easy. Grandpa, if they stopped earlier, I'd let them go, but their ambition too big. I was sure Grandpa knew what I meant. Decades-old fox, how no own informants. Grandpa rest first, I'll come see you tomorrow. Sylvia, go do it, I support all. Oppressive atmosphere pressed me uncomfortable, I didn't look back. Grandpa, I'll take her back first. Go, take good care. I strode out, Adrian bid farewell and chased out. Don't even want the bag, reckless ghost. Sylvia, want to cry just cry out, young master I reluctantly lend shoulder. Car pitch black, Adrian turned off light, only moonlight. As a kid I liked competing, Because my mother was a strong career woman. Couldn't get first, secretly cried. Adrian like a shadow, wherever I hid he'd fish me out. Sylvia, don't cry. Sylvia, cry more, you're a puppy. Sylvia, next time I'll let you win. But now he's urging me to cry. Adrian, are you a roundworm? I hoarse. Young master comforting you, you call me, perhaps pitying me, turned words, roundworm, okay, in your belly. My heart softened, long time no such relaxation. Counting all blood relatives, but none family. Grandpa strict with me, to control company be like mom. Little aunt and uncle eat dividends, climb company for resources. Jason only thinks of taking money. Adrian, can I trust you? If not me, who? He carefully wiped my eye corners with tissue, little tabby cat. Under moonlight his eyes sparkled, peach eyes showing heartache. Peach eyes indeed look at dogs affectionately. Whatever, at least I saw it. Adrian, I want to kiss you. Not asking, notifying. Want to kiss, just kiss. Woo, I shrank back, seemed to bump his teeth. Shrink what? Come, Sylvia, I'll teach you. He hugged me over, close to my ear, hot air scaring me shrink. I retreated back, against steering wheel. He suddenly pulled me back. Sylvia, like me? Under white moonlight, his eyes only me. Male fox spirit. I nodded bewitched. He chuckled lightly, kissed my lips. Perhaps caught cold wind, next morning my head ached a bit. Good morning, Sylvia. Adrian smiled rippling. Morning. I a bit panicked. But upright, I didn't drink, naturally no I did nothing. Wrong, why on my bed? Because you grabbed me not letting go, crying don't leave. Adrian full confidence. Impossible. I subconsciously refuted. Seemed in his expectation. Adrian, don't go. Adrian confidently played recording, raised brow at me. Heavens, not drunk, cry faint also talk nonsense. I hurriedly got off bed. Adrian pulled me back pressed under. Sylvia, start chaos abandon? In impression, unknown when, Adrian's voice evolved from boyish to magnetic blending crisp, more alluring. No such. I refuted. Then why run? I salted fish gave up, covered face I'm shy okay. Okay, how not? He puffed laugh, pulled my palms. I closed eyes not look. Suddenly lips soft, morning, wife. I covered face, heart pounding. Sylvia, John's Leon wants to see you. Let him in. Long awaited. Irene probably worried, brought security up together, glaring at Leon. Seeing me that moment, hatred-filled weakened momentum. Sylvia, what do you mean? File bag thrown head-on, I sidestepped to avoid. Security immediately pinned him down, I walked to him. Leon, you baring teeth, really like a wild dog. Sylvia, you dare use fake project book to me? His under eyes dark, viciously staring me. Did I give it? Wasn't your good brother Jason who delivered to you? I smiled turning back to sit on sofa, interested to watch him go mad. He seemed realization, you knew long ago, you knew long ago. Half year ago I gnawed those old bones, formally controlled company. One check didn't know, inside all borers, leaks everywhere. Biggest borer, my useless cousin. No controllability, ambition sky high. Leon bowed coaxing a few words, gave away projects. I realized can't let Jiang grow big, greed insufficient snake swallow elephant, and only farmer and snake. Little ant cried and, old man confused, still kept Jason. I did favor, let him to project incubation. Unexpected still useless, drink a bit wine, give things away. Know how, not know, how. I sipped coffee. You indeed smart, know where start eroding Sue's, even shares you tricked. I walked over, clamped his jaw. Leon, can only say cleverness backfired, you too hasty. If not so hasty, I'd spend more time. I hasty, how possible, clearly seamless, he murmured. Irene, bring in. I didn't lift head, condescendingly overlooking him. Bang bang. I smiled looking at her, still so polite. Lydia. Lydia. You betrayed me. Mr. Leon, all your self-sentiment. I quite appreciatively looked at her. You too hasty, want glory wealth, also want gentle affection. Lydia indeed foundation sponsored, such excellent student, naturally not miss my eyes. So from high school I corresponded with her. Not yet met success, picked by Leon. Leon from small under Sioux family's shadow, could only obey me fully. He wanted to raise his own flower, but unwilling from start, wanted to deprive my results. Various harassments, troubled many days. So I approached Lydia, explained my identity, let her act a play with me. Reward is branch vice president position, such one sees situation clear, and I somewhat assured in her work. Follow up as he wished, smooth development. Not at all as he said, he personally sent Lydia into Sioux's, it was I who allowed. Just, silently. Sylvia, you ruthless, selfish woman. Saying you selfish, insidious cunning, domineering, ruthless cold, all because you didn't offer what he wants, he didn't get advantage. I raised hand to take him out, Irene, prepare to call police. Jiang investment failed, thoroughly declined, what I take back is lost shares and assets to recover. Also, that unclear thing should be sent in, embezzling public assets. These days Adrian became a bit strange. Always clinging, not letting go. Since understood feelings, now separate rooms. Adults' affection, natural course. Recently really a bit excessive. Adrian, why not rest a couple days, I'm a bit undone. I couldn't bear, tiredly curled in quilt. Sylvia, afternoon no reply, something happened? Tomorrow afternoon 3, want to meet you, discuss case details. Phone vibrated, I subconsciously opened, glanced twice, just wanted to reply, pulled back by Adrian. Rested enough right, have energy to reply. Said then silent, finally nibbling my shoulder. I annoyed pushed him away, Adrian, what's wrong, how weird. Adrian paused, suddenly let go pressed me under. Long no sound, I only felt ear side wet. No, Adrian, why cry? My heart softened, wanted to turn to see, he stubborn, I couldn't. Not allowed to see him. I slowly typed a question mark. Who? I reacted half-second, he's the lawyer I hired. He bit me again, not hard, itchy. He still likes you, I saw. My brain crashed. Last time at club, his look at you wrong. Also, downstairs cafe, you laughed especially happy with him. Choking sounds came. Sylvia, do you think I'm silly, think I Adrian am a spare tire come when called go when waved, use and discard. You cross river dismantle bridge, unload mill kill donkey, like new dislike old he seemed to think something, you like old dislike new. Sticky sounded strangely cute, I puffed laugh. So jealous. Altogether met Anthony twice, both bumped by him. Adrian, I went to turn his head, hard like rebar, turn over, we talk properly. He still stubborn with me. No way, I turned head pasted him kissed a few, he then red-eyed looked at me. Adrian, now I only love you most. He dazed, seemed thinking, but couldn't. I pressed advantage. Anthony just lawyer I hired, he then studied abroad, different aspirations, different places, we peacefully broke up. Talking that period, I suddenly nose sour. Anthony very gentle person, always tolerant me, but I always couldn't open heart. Even gentlest lover, no response, will tire. Thinking this, I pecked Adrian again. Love like his burglary, addictively strong. Now he learned and returned, expert in this, not use for nothing. He annoyed, bit my lip again. I awkward smiled, then indeed high profile, proclaimed to world. Adrian of course didn't escape. The scarf he wore that day you gave. He vied with me again. I helpless, that wasn't consulting you. Then I didn't know what gift, only asked familiar around. Fine Adrian, I only love you, he's just my past. You can't make me have no past. Then your future is mine. He red-eyed glared me, bedside lamp hazy, my eyes somewhat blurred, but his eyes watery bright. Good. I firmly kissed him. Next day I didn't meet Anthony, let Irene connect. Anthony rarely untimely asked me, why? I thought moment, because I don't want my husband sad. He knew I married, always knew, I never hid from anyone. But always someone fears world not know. Early morning Adrian with red booklet photos proclaimed on major social platforms, specially added Anthony's contact. I think, I understand. Because I discovered Adrian seemed to love me long time. Also, been my family long time.